Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Flow Racing's live coverage of the Pensacola 200, presented by Team Construction here at Five Flags Speedway in beautiful Pensacola, Florida. My name is Charlie Krall, and I'll have all the action for you here tonight. I'll be joined down on pit road throughout the evening by Jesse Punch as well. It's been a beautiful day for racing here in the Panhandle of Florida, and we have got a beautiful night coming ahead for racing here this evening. High temperatures in the mid-70s here this afternoon. I know a lot of you all across the country have been dealing with some difficult weather this week, but it has been picture perfect here in the Panhandle of Florida. Today going to drop down into the low 60s as we get ready to go racing for 200 laps here at Five Flags Speedway as the field now starts to roll away from the grid. Round number 2 of the ARCA Menards Series East season coming up. Why don't we go ahead and take a quick look at tonight's race analysis for the Pensacola 200, presented in part tonight by Team Construction. As I said, round 2 of the 2022 ARCA Menards Series East season. The third East Series race here at Five Flags Speedway 2020 was won by Sam Mayer. Last year won by Sammy Smith. 1/2 mile true oval, 15 degrees of banking in the corners, 9 degrees on the straightaways. We're going to have 2 breaks tonight coming up at lap 75 and lap 125. Teams have 6 tires in the pits. We expect them to take 2 tires on that first stop and 4 tires on that second stop. As the field now circulating for the first preliminary lap here tonight. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at our Bounty Rookie Spotlight tonight, a driver making his first ever appearance in the ARCA Menards Series East season, or the ARCA Menards Series East, but he's got a lot of backing behind him. Jake Finch in the number 1 Phoenix Racing Chevrolet. That name goes back quite a ways. His father, James Finch, won lots of races back in the 1990s with Jeff Purvis behind the wheel. Of course, Johnny Allen, the crew chief back then, the crew chief now. He's got a lot of experience here at Five Flags Speedway. He is the defending Outlaws champion here at Five Flags, so we expect a lot out of him tonight. They bought all of that equipment from Ben Kennedy Racing. We're going to race earlier in the season at New Smyrna, just couldn't quite get it together in time, but good to have Jake with us tonight. We'll keep an eye on the number 1 car, our Bounty Rookie Spotlight driver, all night long. We're also going to keep an eye on that driver, the 02, our General Tire Pole Award winner today, Leland Honeyman. Kind of an upset in the number 02 LH Waterfront Construction Chevrolet for Young's Motorsports. First career General Tire pole in just his second career series start. This young man picked up over 1/2 second, 0.6 of a second in qualifying from his practice speed. Kind of shocked everyone tonight, taking that General Tire Pole Awards. We get the 1 to go signal. We'll take a quick look at our General Tire starting grid. Of course, Leland Honeyman and Taylor Gray up on the front row. Jake Finch, Sammy Smith back there in row 2. Ashton Higgins, his first series start alongside Christian Rose. Great qualifying effort for that young man. Brandon Varney, keep an eye on that 44 car. He will start 7th alongside Willie Mullins. Big Willie back in 8th. Daniel Escoto and Donald Teege rounding out the top 10 as the lights are out on the pace truck. Coming to green this time around, 200 laps around one of the most famed short tracks in the country. Mark Honkum will make the hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. Leland Honeyman, Taylor Gray bringing the field to green. It is time to rock, roll, and rumble, folks. Green flag's out. We are racing here at Five Flags Speedway. Honeyman with the jump. Will try to grab that lead down into turns 1 and 2, but Taylor Gray with a great run off the top side of turns 1 and 2. Gray not wanting to give it up. He's going to fall back in line. Leland Honeyman will lead across the stripe to complete lap 1. There's the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Jake Finch will take that 3rd position from defending series champion Sammy Smith. Ashton Higgins sliding back into the 5th position as the field now starting to string out single file. Jake Finch with a lot of experience here at this racetrack, picking up that Outlaws Championship. That's a wedge-bodied late model style race car at just 15 years of age. There's a good battle for position towards the back of the top 10. Daniel Escoto in the number 60 car, and that's the Josh Williams Motorsports Chevrolet. To the inside of Donald Teague in the number 74, that's the Viscotti Motorsports Toyota. Donald had a great run to start the season at New Smyrna Speedway. Ooh, looks like there may have been a little contact there going off into turns 1 and 2. High intensity racing here in the early moments. Big Willie Mullins trailing that battle as well. Willie in the number 11 car for Andy Hillenberg's Fast Track High Performance Racing team here this weekend. Here's a look back up at the front of the field. Leland Honeyman built himself a comfortable advantage here in the early going. Now we see Jake Finch starting to feel some pressure. Sammy Smith getting racy in the number 18 car. Of course, Sammy won this race last year, dominated. Started from the pole, led over 3/4 of the race, 153 laps as a matter of fact here last year, on his way to his first career series victory. Already moving around the 22 car of Steve Austin. Ashton Higgins in the 49 car also making his ARCA Menards Series East debut here with us tonight. Ashton's made the move up from go-karts and bandoleros into late model stock cars. Now making the jump into the ARCA Menards Series East. Here's a good battle for position. Donald Teague in the 74 car coming to life. He's now on the back bumper of Christian Rose. The battle for 7th and 8th on the racetrack. Christian, of course, making the transition from a college baseball career. Both of those drivers with a big handful of steering wheel off at turn 2. The 42 car broke loose first. Donald looks like he broke loose trying to avoid Christian, as he's going to take over that 7th position. I was saying Christian Rose making the transition from college baseball player to professional race car driver. Got the entire state of West Virginia Tourism Bureau backing his efforts in that beautiful number 42 car. Christian, 6'4" tall, one of the few guys in racing actually taller than me. Don't see that too often. He's got himself a pretty good run here in the early going. There's the gap at the front of the field. Leland Honeyman stretching it out, surprisingly, over Taylor Gray in second. Taylor coming off a big win last weekend out at Phoenix Raceway, his first career ARCA Menards Series victory. Of course, the tragedy early in the week as color driver Steve Stocks lost his life in a traffic incident on his way out to Phoenix. Kind of rallied as a team and kind of asked everybody what they wanted to do, and they decided, you know, Steven would have wanted us to be out here. He was out here. He was coming out here. He would have wanted us to come out and race. And they put this very car on Haley Deegan's Camping World Truck Series hauler, loaded it up and headed out west. And of course, Taylor did a great job to pick up career win number 1. Here's a great battle for position. 6th, 7th, and 8th on the racetrack. Brandon Varney in the number 44 car. Brandon doing a good job in that number 44 machine, facing some pretty serious heat from Donald Teague in the 74 car. Donald's picked up a couple of positions here since the drop of the green flag. All over the back bumper of that Jeff McClure owned number 44, driven by Brandon Varney. Of course, Brandon's family, the Varney family, longtime competitors up in the Midwest. A lot of laps at the long closed Mount Clemens racetrack, and regular competitors at ARCA's home track, Toledo Speedway. Brandon going to lose a couple of positions in this exchange. He's going to give up 6th to Donald Teague and 7th now to Christian Rose. Move Brandon Varney back to 8th. There's a good look at the battle for 3rd and 4th. Sammy Smith and that Kyle Busch Motorsports, number 18. Already been a big day for Kyle Busch Motorsports. Corey Heim, multiple-time winner in the ARCA Menards Series platform, picking up career win number 1 in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race up at Atlanta Motor Speedway earlier in the day. Stole that one on the final lap from his teammate, Chandler Smith. KBM looking to pick up a 2nd win here today. Sammy Smith holding serve in the number 18 car, currently back in the 3rd position. Sammy, the defending series champion, also the defending race winner here at Five Flags Speedway. Move to the outside of Steve Austin and Brad Smith in the 48 car there. Brad quickly closing in on a milestone of his own in the ARCA Menards Series, looking at career start number 400 coming up later on in the summer. Jake Finch in the 1 car. Following in the tire tracks of our defending ARCA Menards Series East champion, Sammy Smith. This young man in his series debut, our Bounty Rookie Spotlight driver tonight. Not letting the defending series champion drive away from him at all here tonight. Jake doing a great job. Saw both of these drivers compete throughout the course of the World Series of Asphalt down at New Smyrna Speedway. Sammy, of course, picked up a win throughout the course of the week. Jake didn't get to victory lane, but had a couple of really strong runs as they both look like they're closing in on Taylor Gray, who in turn closing in on Leland Honeyman. Leland had stretched out that advantage over 1.5 seconds. Now the top 4 cars all on the same screen. Just 0.6 of a second, the advantage. Now down to 0.3 of a second. Leland Honeyman giving up some ground to Taylor Gray, Sammy Smith, and Jake Finch. Top 4 cars now nose to tail off of turn 4. Taylor Gray dipping to the inside, side by side for the lead. Honeyman way up the racetrack. He's going to give the lead over to Taylor Gray. Now the question is, can he keep Sammy Smith and Jake Finch behind him? Honeyman's car not handling as well as it was here in the early laps. He's going to drop from the lead right now back to 3rd, but Jake Finch going to take 3rd now down into turns 1 and 2. Move Leland Honeyman back to 4th. So he jumped out front, led the first 29 laps tonight. Now Leland Honeyman going to have to move into tire conservation mode. Keep that car in touch with the top 3. We have a car sideways over there in turn 2. That's going to bring out the first caution flag of the night. Willie Mullins getting turned around. And that'll bring us under the caution flag for the first time tonight. Big Willie's Hammer Down Racing on the hood of that automobile. Anybody who is following the exploits of the Mullins Racing team on TikTok knows just how fun this group is. Willie's wife Dinah and their flock of ducks they keep right there at their race shop. Always up to some hijinks there as they get their race cars ready to come and join us here on the ARCA Menards Series. Jimmy Walker putting us under the caution flag for the first time tonight. Keeping an eye on everybody from the flag stand here this evening. Hopefully we won't wear that right arm out too much throughout the course of the evening as the field circulates behind the pace truck. It's a good look at Donald Teague in the number 74 car for Visconti Motorsports. Donald raced his way up into the 6th position. Started outside row 5, so he's picked up 4 positions already here from the start here this evening. Had himself a really nice start to the season down at New Smyrna Speedway. Of course, Donald, a former winner in the NASCAR Pinty's Series. That's the series that competes up north of the border in Canada. He's a principal in the Teej Auto Group up there in Quebec, and he brought that number 74 car home 5th in the season opener. Looking to do a little bit better here tonight. The Scotty Motorsports team, a former winner here in the ARCA Menards Series East back in, I believe, 2019. They teamed up with Brandon McReynolds to score a victory on the 1 mile track up at Hampshire Motor Speedway. It's a good look at the two drivers we expect to be our championship contenders here in the East Series in 2022, Taylor Gray and Sammy Smith. I've already mentioned tonight, Sammy, the defending series champion. Taylor picked up 4 victories out in the ARCA Menards Series West, and of course, one of those was last weekend's win out at Phoenix at a combination race with the ARCA Menards Series and the ARCA Menards West, so that counts as a win in both series. Still looking for that elusive first career victory here in the East. Could tonight be the night? We're going to find out. We're going to put him back under the green flag. Jimmy Walker giving us the 1-to-go signal this time around. Next time by, we'll get the green flag. Go back, green flag racing. Again, we're going to go to lap 75. That's our first of 2 scheduled breaks here tonight. Mark Crump in pace truck, got the lights out. He'll make that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. Taylor Gray electing to restart from the inside. Sammy Smith to the outside. Jake Finch, Leland Honeyman. Ashton Higgins doing a great job in the 49 car. Donald Teej, Christian Rose, Daniel Escoto. Brandon Varney and Willie Mullins, the top 10, bringing us back to green. Gray with the jump down into turns 1 and 2. He's going to stretch out the advantage over Sammy Smith, and there's the battle for third. Jake Finch to the inside. Leland Honeyman cooled those tires off. Does he have enough grip to hang tough in that top lane? No, he's not going to be able to make it stick. He's going to fall back into the 4th position. Ashton Higgins in the 49 car rounding out the top 5. Now let's see if Sammy Smith has anything for Taylor Gray here at the front of the field. Smith now closing in that gap. Jake Finch doing a really nice job as we see Christian Rose off the pace in the 42 car. Christian was running it in the 7th position. I believe that was Christian that we saw flash to the bottom side of the racetrack there. We'll let scoring recompute. And indeed, Christian Rose bringing the 42 car down onto pit road. Tough break for that young man. Made his series debut with us at New Smyrna Speedway, but had made a couple of appearances in the ARCA Menards Series West late last year. That team going to go underneath the left side. Ooh, don't want to do that. Do that. Get that car out of gear. Knock that thing off the jack. Bruce Cook Racing Technologies team gonna try to diagnose what's wrong with the 42 Toyota Camry. That is an absolutely beautiful wrap on that car too, folks. If you ever get a chance to come and join us at the racetrack for an ARCA Menards Series East race, you'll definitely want to go check out that car. Absolutely beautiful race car as we get back in at the front of the field. Top 3 stretching it out now over this battle for 4th and 5th. Taylor Gray starting to stretch out that advantage just a touch. Leland Honeyman. Ooh, that car kicking sideways a little bit off of turn 2. Starting to face some pressure from Ashton Higgins in the 49. Ashton, a member of the GMS Racing driver development program a couple of years back. Took this car down Tri-County Raceway up in his hometown a couple of weeks back. Here's Jake Finch trying to track down Sammy Smith. They built up quite an advantage over Leland Honeyman there, our General Tire Pole Award winner. And Ashton Higgins in the 49 car. Higgins starting to lose touch just a little bit to rejoin that battle. Really the top 3 that not really engaged in battle, but any one slip up here really cost any one of these 3 drivers some track position. Taylor Gray holding on to about a 5-car length lead over Sammy Smith. Sammy's got about 5-car lengths in hand over Jake Finch in 3rd. Getting reports. The reason Christian Rose brought that machine down onto pit road, that car didn't come out of 1st gear on that restart. Tough break. Christian in that Bruce Cook Racing team. Christian had a great qualifying effort, qualified 6th here, best career qualifying effort so far. There's a little bit of luck on his side. Collect himself a good solid top 5 finish. There's a good battle between Brandon Varney and Donald Teach. Varney in the 44, Teach in the 74. This battle just outside the top 5. Brandon made his first start at the ARCA Menards Series platform last year up at Winchester Speedway. Did a phenomenal job. Came home in the 6th position, driving for former series champion Andy Hillenberg. Backed it up with another top 10 run on the high banks at Michigan International Speedway. Dad spent the entire offseason working the phones, trying to find himself, find his son a good opportunity here for the 2022 season. We look back now at the battle for the lead. Sammy Smith lighting the wick. All over the back bumper of Taylor Gray as they work to the outside of Donald Teach. Our leaders setting a pretty torrid pace here as we are past the 1/4 mark in the Pensacola 200. Appreciate you joining us here live on Flow Racing tonight. Sammy Smith was about 5-car lengths back, now right on the back bumper. Battle for the lead as we work our way through some lap traffic. Brandon Varney still trying to stay on the lead lap. Wants to give those leaders some room, though. He's going to drift up to the outside of the racetrack. Let our top 2 slide on by. Jake Finch also in the mix there in the 1 car. Brandon doing a nice job letting the leaders stay in contact with one another. Taylor Gray up on the wheel. He's going to try to everything he can to keep Sammy Smith behind him. As I said, Taylor's still looking for that elusive 1st career East Series victory. He led 47 laps here last year as well. He knows how to get around Five Flag Speedway. Right now, his task is keeping Sammy Smith behind him as we see the battle for 4th and 5th. Leland Honeyman now facing some heat from Ashton Higgins in the 49. Higgins coming to life here. Now we jump up to the battle for the lead. Taylor Gray still has it. Sammy Smith wants it. Knocking on the back door through turns 1 and 2 right there. May have been some contact between the 18's front bumper and the 17's back bumper right there as they close in on the back bumper of Willie Mullins right there. Mullins down to the inside. He's going to give the lead duo plenty of room to the outside through turns 1 and 2. Taylor Gray's had an impressive career here in the ARCA Menards Series platform. 24 career ARCA Menards Series starts. Picked up his first career win last week out at Phoenix. 22 top 10 finishes in the ARCA Menards Series. Just as strong here in the East Series. 11 career starts, 8 top 5s, 11 top 10s. Still looking for that elusive career first victory. Could tonight be the night? 139 laps yet to go. Right now he's sitting in the catbird seat, but Sammy Smith all over that number 17 car through turns 3 and 4. They move to the outside of Steve Austin down in turns 1 and 2. Negotiated the lap cars, and Taylor Gray still coming out in front as we've got problems right in front of the leaders. Oh, wow, close call right there as Stephanie Moyer getting turned sideways down in turns 1 and 2. Nearly blocked the track. Taylor Gray narrowly missing both Stephanie and the wall. Wow, that could be a candidate. That is a candidate. That could be our winner for tonight's Reese's Sweet Move of the race. Incredibly close call right there as Stephanie Moyer got turned sideways, and both Taylor Gray and Sammy Smith, a lot of skill involved in that too, folks. Don't get me wrong, but there was a lot of luck right there. Both of those two drivers could have found themselves in very big trouble as Stephanie getting the 0-1 car turned back around. That does put us under the caution flag for the second time here tonight. See if we can take a look at the replay of what happened there down into turn 1. Take a look. We'll see our top 2. Looks like Donald Teege will get the free pass here under the caution. Let's go ahead and take a look at that replay. Just in front of our leaders, looks like Daniel Escoto got into the left rear quarter panel of Stephanie Moyer down there going into turn 1. Stephanie drifted up the racetrack. Here's another look at it from our turn 1 camera. And look at Taylor going from the bottom of the racetrack. He sees the smoke all the way to the top side. Ooh, Sammy locking the brakes up right there. Yeah, Stephanie, if she drifted up just another couple of feet, that could have been a big, big deal down there in turn 1 and 2. But as it is, both Taylor Gray and Sammy Smith sneaking around the outside. And they will hold on to the top 2 spots. But that definitely is a contender for that Reese's Sweet Move of the race. Don't forget, you can log on to ARCA's Twitter handle tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. to vote for today's Reese's Sweet Move of the race at ARCA Menards Series Twitter page at ARCA_racing, and cast your vote. I think that's going to be a pretty strong contender, personally, folks. Wow, very close call for Taylor Gray and Sammy Smith right there. You know, it's been 3 years since Taylor has raced with us here. He started back when he was just 15 years of age. I met him for the very first time down at New Smyrna Speedway. Hadn't quite turned 15 just yet, and he was begging, lobbying those officials down there that week to let him in the car. And, you know, of course, ARCA rules state you have to be 15, so he had to wait a couple of weeks. But, finally, picking up that first career ARCA Menards Series victory last weekend out at Phoenix, looking for win number 1 here in the East Series as we get the 1 to go signal. One to go signal given at the stripe. Taylor Gray will elect the bottom side of the racetrack. Sammy Smith outside there in row 1. Jake Finch, Leland Honeyman back in row 2. Ashton Higgins, Daniel Escoto back in row 3. Coming back to green. Taylor Gray with the jump. He will lead the field down into turns 1 and 2. Smith going to slide right back into where he was. Right on the back deck of that 17 car as they race off of turns 1 and 2. Don't forget, we're racing to that lap 75 mark. Coming to complete lap 70 this time around. Coming to start lap 70, I should say. So we still have 5 laps to go until we get to that first break. Taylor Gray now stretching the advantage on Sammy Smith. Jake Finch holding on to that 3rd position. Leland Honeyman. And Ashton Higgins rounding out the top 5. Finch closing the gap ever so slightly on Sammy Smith. Does Jake have enough to get up there and take 2nd away going into our first of 2 breaks? The number 1 car kind of coming to life here late in this run. Of course, Jake knows what to expect with the aged surface here at Five Flag Speedway. He's got a lot of laps here. Of course, as I mentioned, the defending outlaw champion here at Five Flag Speedway, winning that championship last year at just 15 years of age. Now starting to put some pressure on our defending race winner and defending series champion, Sammy Smith. Close in on the first of 2 scheduled breaks here in the Pensacola 200. Coming to complete lap 75 this time around. Let the lead lap car cycle across the start-finish line, and that should put us under caution. And there you see it, caution flag out. Taylor Gray leading across the stripe. And he will lead the field down onto pit road for the first of 2 5-minute breaks. Teams can change tires, add fuel, make all the adjustments they need. Long as they are in position for the restart, will not lose positions down on pit road. Brandon Barney cycling around. He'll pick up the free pass under this caution flag, rejoin the tail end of the lead lap. We'll cycle the cars around one more time as Brandon's still circulating around the racetrack. He'll join the tail end of the field. We'll bring him around down pit road next time by. Taylor Gray picked up the lead at lap 30. Of course, Leland Honeyman led laps 1 through 29. Taylor picked up the lead at lap 30, and he's led every lap since. As Bob Langley waving the green flag, indicating Pit road is open, and we will see everybody come on down to the attention of their crews. Again, 5 minutes. Teams can change tires. I expect we will see most teams take 2 tires on this first stop and then save their 4 tires for the second stop. Change tires and can add fuel. Can't do it both at the same time. Once the final car has come to rest, we will start the 5-minute clock and allow teams to go to work. Sammy Smith. They're going to put the fuel in that automobile first. And there is the signal has been given. They start the fueling process on the 17 car. And look at, they've got the tire blowers on the left side tires. So it does not look like they're going to change those left side tires on the 17 car, kind of what we expected. While cars are stopped down on pit road, we're going to go ahead and step away for a quick break. We'll be back in just a minute. You're watching the Pensacola 200 for the ARCA Menards Series East from Five Flags Speedway, live here on Flow Racing.
Construction companies in their field. Team Construction, thanks for your help here at Five Flags.
Not only is Team Construction sponsor here tonight at Five Flags Speedway, but they have been longtime sponsors here at the famed half-mile oval. So a special thanks to those guys and their support for local racing here on the Panhandle. So remember, just 5 minutes for the crews to get to work on these cars. I've already seen a lot of the teams put on right side tires. I don't imagine a whole lot of adjustments coming in for the top 5. Taylor Gray leads away in his Ford Performance Fusion, followed by Sammy Smith in the 18 machine. Jake Finch is 3rd. Leland Honeyman is 4th. Ashton Higgins is 5th. With Daniel Escoto sitting 6th and Donald T sitting 7th in the 74 machine. Brandon Varney is 8th, Willie Mullins is 9th, and Steve Olson completes the top 10 here in the Pensacola 200. Fans, we encourage you to go to our website, fiveflagspeedway.com, for a complete schedule of the 2022 season. Doubleheader coming up in a few weeks, April 8th and 9th as a Blizzard Series. Opens their season here at Five Flags Speedway, and the road to the 55th annual Snowball Derby officially begins in a few weeks here at Five Flags Speedway. Go to our website, fiveflagspeedway.com, like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the 2022 schedule.
Welcome back to Five Flags Speedway. There's a good look at Taylor Gray sitting down on pit road. Chad Johnston and the crew work on that number 17 Ford. Of course, Taylor has led since lap 30, and he will lead us back to the green flag. Coming off an emotional victory last Friday night out at Phoenix Raceway. Still looking for a first career victory here in the East Series. He's got a good shot at it here tonight. Crew now starting to round up the equipment. They've got those tire blowers away from the left side. We'll get the cars fired up and move back out onto the back stretch and get them lined up again. There's Sammy Smith, last year's winner here at Five Flags Speedway, the defending series champion. Sammy had a dominant season last year. Picked up a trio of victories. Clinched the championship with a second-place finish down at Bristol, finishing behind his teammate, Ty Gibbs, who also, by the way, won the ARCA Menards Series championship last year. Of course, that 18 team now under the Kyle Busch Motorsports banner here in 2022. That's really the only change. The cars now fired back up and aligning themselves back in their respective positions on the backstretch. Get them lined up, bring them back. Give them the 1 to go signal and get back underway here. There's Christian Rose in the 42 car. He's back underway. John Samuels and the team getting the issue with the transmission rectified, but unfortunately lost about 30 laps in the exchange. The crew member climbing out of the left or the right side window there of the Leland Honeyman automobile. Leland picking up the General Tire Pole Award and qualifying earlier this afternoon. Running well here tonight. Scheduled to line up in the 4th position when we go back green flag racing, as there's the top 2. It'll be interesting to see how these cars respond to just taking right side tires. Everybody electing to keep those 4 tires in the pit box. We've got another break coming up at lap 125, so we're going to have a really short dash here, just under 50 laps to that second scheduled break. Everybody to come back down pit road, take their 4 tires for that final 75 lap run to the finish here tonight. There's a good look at the JW Motorsports number 60, Daniel Escoto making his series debut. Of course, Josh, a 2-time winner in the ARCA Menards Series. Florida resident. Big supporter of the ARCA Menards Series platform. He's been looking for a way to break into team ownership here the last couple of years. Finally able to put together a deal with Daniel, and they hope to run the rest of the East races here in 2022. Daniel having a pretty good run so far here tonight. He's currently on the lead lap, sitting back in 6th. Top 7 cars on the lead lap. Taylor Gray, Sammy Smith, they're going to restart up on the front row. Jake Finch, Leland Honeyman, they're back in the 2nd row. Jake, our Bounty Rookie Spotlight driver tonight. We're going to keep an eye on that number 1 car here on the restart. He was really starting to come to life. The final stages of our first segment here tonight. Ashton Higgins, Daniel Escoto back in row 3. Ashton doing a great job in his East Series debut. Donald Teage rounding out our 7 lead lap automobiles. Brandon Varney currently scored 1 lap down in the 44. Willie Mullins 2 laps down in the 11. Steve Austin rounding out the top 10 in car 22. Pace truck back down onto pit road. Jimmy Walker looking the field over from the flag stand. Green flag back out. Taylor Gray leading the field down into turns 1 and 2. Sammy Smith gonna dive in right behind Taylor off of turn 2, following down the backstretch. Top 3 cars, nose to tail. They've broken away just a touch from Leland Honeyman back there in 4th. Things picking up right where we left off prior to the first of our 2 scheduled competition breaks. Ashton Higgins trying to make some noise in that 49 car. Higgins putting some pressure on Leland Honeyman in that battle for 4th. There's Sammy Smith closing in on the back deck. Taylor Gray holding on to the lead. Sammy Smith still trying to figure out a way to work his way past that 17 car. Taylor has kept that thing on the bottom of the racetrack, both ends of the speedway. That car handling very well. Jamie Smith's car handling just as well. He's able to keep that car right on the bottom of the racetrack as well, maybe even a little bit lower than Taylor Gray. That car turning extremely well for Sammy Smith. As we talked about Taylor's emotional victory out at Phoenix Raceway last Friday night. That win coming in this very race car. This car was not scheduled to make the trip out to Phoenix. Of course, the tragic accident with the transporter on the way out, necessitating the move to this automobile. This car was sitting on jack stands, already prepped and ready to go. Here for 5 flags. Put it on Haley Deegan's Camping World Truck Series hauler and sent it out to Phoenix, and Taylor picked up career win number 1. Looking for his first East Series victory, and he's got his hands full right now with Sammy Smith. Sammy with a nudge off of turn 2. He moves Taylor up the racetrack, and he's going to stick the nose of the 18 car into the inside. Side-by-side battle for the lead through turns 3 and 4. Taylor Gray has the lead here at the stripe, but Smith still to the inside. Down into turns 1 and 2. Still side by side for the lead. Jake Finch watching this battle as he closes in. Gray again holding on to the lead at the stripe, but Smith with the momentum down into turns 1 and 2. Gray is going to slide back into that second position as Smith takes the lead. And now Sammy Smith setting sail as he has already stretched out a 10-car length lead over Taylor Gray in second. Gray now with his hands full as Jake Finch putting some pressure. In the battle for second. Jake Finch just 16 years of age, making his first career series appearance. Got a lot of laps here at this racetrack. Defending Outlaws champion here at Five Flags Speedway. That knowledge of this racetrack coming in handy right now as he is going to battle with Taylor Gray. Caution flag coming out for the 4th time tonight. Caution on the speedway, and there's why. Daniel Escoto sideways down in turns 1 and 2. See a little damage to the right front corner of that automobile. I believe that damage coming from when he and Stephanie Moyer got together. Boy, that pass by Sammy Smith. Absolute textbook use of the old chrome horn. That could be another one of our Reese's Sweet Move of the race candidates right there. Willie Mullins picking up the free pass under this caution flag. Smith just ever so slightly gave the nudge to Taylor Gray. Moved Gray just about a lane up the racetrack. Smith stuck the nose down to the inside, worked it for a couple of laps. Eventually was able to drive on by him, but that nudge ever so slightly moving Taylor Gray could be another of our Reese's Sweet Move candidates. Don't forget, you can log on to the ARCA Twitter page tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. ARCA_racing on Twitter. Cast your vote. Let's take a look. Here's that battle for the lead. Sammy really sticking it down to the inside of the racetrack. Look at how well that race car turns. right on the bottom of the racetrack. And eventually driving it down to the inside, almost making some contact there. Looks like they may have bounced off of one another there in turns 3 and 4. Sammy eventually driving it down to the inside in turns 1 and 2, and Taylor doing a really nice job sliding into that second position. Giving up that spot to Jake Finch as well. Let's see what happens here on this restart. Jake's car looking really strong as we close in on the midway point here in the Pensacola 200, presented by Team Construction. Charlie Crawl, Jesse Punch, with all the action here tonight. Appreciate you joining us. We get the 1 to go signal. Closing in on the midway point here. Sammy Smith electing the bottom lane for this restart. Taylor Gray to the top side. Jake Finch, Leland Honeyman back in row 2. Ashton Higgins, Daniel Escoto. That's old scoring data. We'll let scoring update itself here. Looks like Ashton Higgins and Brandon Varney back in row 3. As the pace trucks back down onto pit road. Walker with the green flag back in the air. We're back underway. Let's see what Taylor Gray can do from the top side of the racetrack this time around. He wants to retake the lead. He's got a good run down the backstretch. What's going to happen here at 3 and 4? Gray going to have to get back down in line as Sammy Smith holds on to the lead. Now Jake Finch starting to work the back bumper of Taylor Gray in the battle for second. Sammy Smith stretching the advantage. We wondered how the handling of these cars would be affected by just changing right side tires, and right now that 17 car not at all handling the way Taylor Gray wants it to. A very loose race car as he slides off of turn 4. Right now Taylor is just in preservation mode. He wants to get back down to pit road. Let Chad Johnston and crew put 4 fresh General tires on that automobile. As we got the caution flag one more time. That's why Steve Austin with a heavy crash here on the front stretch. A lot of damage to the front of the number 22 car. CCM Motorsports team owned by Eric Caudell. Steve finished 12th in the season opener down at New Smyrna Speedway. Was running in the 10th position when he had his issues here tonight. While we are under the 5th caution flag of the night, why don't we go ahead and take a quick break? You're watching the Pensacola 200 live here on Flow Racing. Welcome back to Five Flags Speedway. There's Steve Austin climbing out of that number 22 car after his accident here on the front stretch. Puts us under the caution flag for the 5th time tonight. He'll hop in the ambulance and a quick exam, but looks like Steve's going to be A-OK as the safety crew now works to get that automobile off of the racetrack. Why don't we go ahead and take a quick look at our Richmond Water Heaters mid-race recap here for the Pensacola 200. Sammy Smith is our leader, but he is the 3rd leader of the night. We started with Leland Honeyman, our General Tire Pole Award winner. He led laps 1 through 29. Taylor Gray then led laps 30 through 88. Sammy Smith picked up the lead at lap 89, and he holds on to that advantage here as we circulate under the caution flag here just past lap 100. We've had 5 caution flags so far tonight. Willie Mullins getting turned around over in turn 2. Stephanie Moyer coming together with Daniel Escoto. That happening right in front of Taylor Gray and Sammy Smith. That was the 2nd caution flag of the night. We had our first race break at lap 75, and then Daniel Escoto got turned around over in turn 2. And of course this incident right before the midway point with Steve Austin putting us under our 5th caution flag of the evening. Still have 97 laps yet to go, and we are of course going to our 2nd race break scheduled to come up here at lap 125. One more chance for these teams to service their cars. Expect everybody will take 4 tires, make some adjustments, send them on their way. The final 75 laps. We're still got to get there though. We're still about 20 laps shy of that 2nd race break as we see the safety crew still working to retrieve Steve Austin's number 22, the Red Tide Canopies car. Tough break for Steve Austin. He's a driver, he's got a lot of experience on the short tracks throughout the Southeast. Raced trucks against team owner Eric Caudell, and they've been talking about coming and teaming up. Looked at the schedule and said, why don't we go ahead and make a run at that ARCA Menards Series East schedule here in 2022. So it's good to have Steve and the CCM Motorsports team part of the series here. Tough way to end their night here at Five Flags Speedway though tonight. So 6 drivers in the field making their series debut here tonight. Jake Finch in the number 1 car, Ashton Higgins in the 49. Those two have had pretty solid nights here this evening. There's Daniel Escoto in the number 60. He's run well up into the top 10 throughout the course of the night. Brandon Varney also looking solid in the 44 car for team owner Jeff McClure.
Obviously, you can tell that Sammy Smith doesn't need much advice as to how to win here at 5 Flags, but now we're in that 100-lap range of what we normally see on a weekly basis when it comes to late models.
Of those drivers making their series debut, will be interesting to see how Jake Finch ends up here tonight. Of course, Jake, our Bounty rookie spotlight driver tonight. We go ahead and take a look at some highlights of the first half here of the Pensacola 200 for our Richmond Water Heaters mid-race recap. There's a good battle between General Tire Pole Award winner Leland Honeyman and Taylor Gray in the 17 car. Taylor's going to dip to the inside, take the lead there at lap 30. Ooh, there's Willie Mullins getting turned sideways. Ooh, Sammy Smith with a nice save right there. Sammy avoiding Big Willie. That could have been a big, big deal over there at turn 2. There's the battle for the lead. Taylor Gray holding off. Sammy Smith is, ooh, they almost get into Stephanie Moyer down there in turn 1. Look at the intensity on the face of Taylor as his car being serviced through our first break. There's that little nudge I talked about, the chrome horn, moving Taylor Gray up the racetrack just a touch. Danny Smith sneaking to the inside to take over the lead. He's going to bring us back to green as we come back to green to complete lap 107. 18 laps to go until our second scheduled break. Let's see what Taylor Gray can do on the top side of the racetrack here. Can he get that car to stick down in turns 3 and 4? He's going to open the door. Jake Finch going to try to fill it up. Battle for second. Down the front stretch and into turn 1. Oh, Gray going to do a good job keeping that momentum up. He's going to hold on to that second position, but Jake Finch looking pretty racy, and now we've got a battle for 4th. Ashton Higgins to the inside of Leland Honeyman. Battle on. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Give Higgins the 4th position. Honeyman back to 5th. Ashton Higgins with an impressive debut in the number 49 car. He's now starting to track down Jake Finch. Ashton with a lot of short track experience. He comes from the late model stock car division. Ooh, looks like some smoke off of that left front tire. Taylor Gray lighting the brakes up, driving it hard, trying to keep Jake Finch behind him. Finch putting all kinds of pressure on Taylor Gray as Sammy Smith just driving off into the distance again. Finch trying to look to the inside off into turn 3. '17-year-old Taylor Gray holding off 16-year-old Jake Finch. We see some sparks now coming from underneath the 1 car. Smoke off the 17, sparks off the number 1. Short track racing on a Saturday night here at Five Flags Speedway. Ooh, Jake getting into Taylor a little bit there through turns 1 and 2. Taylor with a great save. That's going to allow Higgins now to look to the inside of Jake Finch. Great racing. Just past the midway point here in the Pensacola 200. Finch again lining up Taylor Gray. He's going to give him another shot. Down into turns 1 and 2. Moves Taylor Gray up the racetrack. Give Jake Finch the 2nd spot. Here comes Higgins into 3rd. Honeyman now to the inside of Taylor Gray. Gray losing all kinds of positions here at lap 116. You can see the frustration on the driver of the number 17 car there. He just absolutely wanted to get back in line. That car almost jumping out from underneath Taylor Gray right there. And again, lighting up that left front brake. That car not at all handling the way Taylor Gray wants it to. As we close in on that second competition break here at the Pensacola 200. Taylor Gray going from the lead now all the way back to 5th. Good look at Ashton Higgins in the 49 car. Higgins seemed like he followed Leland Honeyman for about 100 laps right there, but eventually was able to work his way past. Now Higgins sits in 3rd position. Honeyman sitting in that 4th spot, but they have both worked their way past Taylor Gray. Gray now back to 5th. Ashton Higgins been racing since he was 8 years old. Started in go-karts, moved up to bandoleros. Eventually worked his way into the driver development program for GMS Racing. Picked up a lot of big wins in the late model stock car division down in the Carolinas and in Virginia. We check in on Sammy Smith. Lighten up that left front brake rotor down into turn 3. Smith setting sail in that TMC Transportation Toyota, Kyle Busch Motorsports. Look at the advantage he has built over Jake Finch in the second position. Jake himself opening up an equally impressive advantage over Ashton Higgins in third. We worked lap 125. There's a great look at our Bounty Rookie Spotlight driver tonight, holding that advantage over Ashton Higgins and Leland Honeyman. This is the battle for third as we come to complete lap 125. Again, we'll let the lead lap car cycle across the start-finish line. Jimmy Walker will put out the caution flag for the 6th time tonight. And there it is. 6th caution flag of the evening, our second competition break. We'll let the teams go to work for 5 minutes, change tires, add fuel, make adjustments, set us up for a 75-lap sprint to the finish. We'll let the field cycle across the start-finish line. With those caution flags early in the early segment of the race, we did have several drivers pick up the free pass to maintain their position on the lead lap. So right now, 9 drivers on the lead lap as we are past the halfway point. Sammy Smith will lead the field down onto pit road. Jake Finch, Ashton Higgins, Leland Honeyman, and Taylor Gray rounding out your top 5. Willie Mullins, Brandon Varney, Donald Teague, and Daniel Escoto. The remainder of the lead lap cars, they will all come on down to pit road once the final car stops. We'll give them 5 minutes to change tires, add fuel, make adjustments, and line them back up for that dash to the checkered flag.
Cars come down pit road. And the engines shut off. They wait for the signal from NASCAR. And now they've been given that signal.
There's the signal given by ARCA officials down on pit road. Teams jump to work. And everybody going to change those tires. Here's a great look at Ashton Higgins. Leapfrog Lawn Care and Landscaping Toyota. What an impressive debut for this young man. You see a lot of teams with an impressive pit box and a pit setup. Just one little toolbox there at Ashton Higgins' pit stall. A lot of desire, a lot of want to with that group. Good to have them here with us as he has had an impressive run here. The first 127 laps tonight. Amy Smith's team still working on the right side. Well, we are under the second break of the night. We're going to go ahead and step away for a quick break. You're watching the Pensacola 200 for the ARCA Menards Series East here at Five Flags Speedway, live on Flow Racing.
Oh, I see fellas headed towards turn number 4 to throw some more t-shirts.
Welcome back to Five Flags Speedway. Charlie Crawl with all the action of the Pensacola 200 for the ARCA Menards Series East. Live here on Flow Racing. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. While we do have a minute, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the remainder of the ARCA Menards Series East schedule here for 2022. We'll also take a quick look at the ARCA Menards Series West schedule as well. Of course, the East schedule coming up April 29th, Dover Motor Speedway. May 7th, we'll head up to Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Both of those races live here on Flow. June 11th at Iowa Speedway, August 28th up at the Milwaukee Mile, and September 15th at Bristol Motor Speedway. All of those races, conjunction races with the ARCA Menards Series. Watch those live over on NAV TV. Why don't we take a look at the ARCA Menards Series West schedule, and we'll be right back here next Saturday night. March 26th, Irwindale Speedway coming up. April 23rd, we'll go to Kern County Raceway over in Bakersfield, California. First of 3 road course races coming up June 4th at Portland. The second one, the very next Saturday, June the 11th at Sonoma Raceway. We'll go back to Irwindale on July the 2nd. Evergreen Speedway returns to the schedule on August 20th. Final road course race of the season, September 3rd at Portland. Tight little bull ring, All-American Speedway coming up October 1st. We'll head to the bull ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on October 14th, and the season finale coming up November 5th at Phoenix Raceway. All of those races live here on Flow Racing. Really appreciate y'all joining us here tonight. Great to be part of the NASCAR Roots package here live on Flow Racing. Lots of great NASCAR content here live on Flow throughout 2022, and a lot more tracks. We'll be making those announcements coming up very, very soon. Field lining up for the restart. Sammy Smith, Jake Finch up on row 1. Let's see what Jake Finch has here on this restart. He has been impressive so far tonight. We're going to keep an eye on Ashton Higgins firing off inside row number 2 as well. Our General Tire Pole Award winner, Leland Honeyman, restarting outside row 2. Taylor Gray, he's had a pretty good car here tonight. He will start inside row 3 alongside Willie Mullins, Brandon Varney, Donald Teach, Daniel Escoto. Our lead lap cars coming to green. Complete lap 128. 72 laps to go here in the Pensacola 200. Sammy Smith, Jake Finch bringing them back to green. Smith with the jump. And here comes Ashton Higgins to the inside. And how about Taylor Gray on this restart? He's wasted no time at all with those 4 fresh General Tires. Look at him to the inside of Higgins. Gray already up to 3rd. Smith building up the advantage down the backstretch. 10 car lengths over Jake Finch in 2nd. Finch about to have his hands full with Taylor Gray. Gray was just hanging on there at the end of that last segment. And right now that car has come back to life. Gray on the move. He's going to take that 2nd position. Jake Finch back to 3rd. Now let's see if Gray can track down Sammy Smith. Now Higgins looking to the inside of Jake Finch. This is the battle for 3rd. Higgins to the inside, Finch to the outside. Leland Honeyman in the mix as well. Good 3-way battle for 3rd. Higgins, that car looking very strong here. He is going to take 3rd from Jake Finch, and Honeyman trying to follow him through as well. Honeyman now up to 4th. Move Jake Finch back to 5th. Brandon Varney there in the 44 car, trying to tack on at the tail end of that freight train. target. Leland Honeyman looked really strong in the early going because we see Donald Teach now off the pace on the pit road. Tough break for the driver of the 74 car for Visconti Motorsports. Ooh, Higgins all kinds of sideways down there in turn one. Honeyman to the inside. He's going to take over the third position. Was just about to give Honeyman the shout out. That car fired off very strong, looked really good the opening 25 laps here tonight. Of course, Honeyman starting from the General Tire pole here this evening. First career pole award and just his second career start. Now Honeyman starting to track down Taylor Gray. That car really good on fresh rubber. Honeyman now all over Taylor Gray. Gray fired off really well on that restart. Went from 5th to 2nd in about 3 laps. But it looks like his momentum kind of been stunted. He's 1.2 seconds behind Sammy Smith. And now facing some pretty serious heat from Leland Honeyman in the 02 car. Battle between Ashton Higgins in the 49, Jake Finch in the 1. Finch trying to sneak the nose of that car down to the inside. He will take the 4th position away from Ashton Higgins. Of course, anybody who followed the ARCA Menards series back in the early 1990s was well aware of the Phoenix Racing team. Jeff Purvis, of course, teaming up with team owner James Finch, won a lot of races at places like Daytona and Talladega, Michigan. They actually teamed up and won right here at Five Flags Speedway. They won the 1995 Snowball Derby as well. Phoenix Racing also delivering the first career victory for Brad Keselowski back in 2009. That thrilling finish at Talladega Superspeedway that saw Brad pick up his first career win, and Carl Edwards, of course, into the outside catch fence upside down. A spectacular finish. A lot of people don't remember. It was Phoenix Racing team owner James Finch and the 09 car. James sold all of his equipment, got out of racing for many years, and now his young son has expressed a desire to go racing, and James brought the band back together again. Johnny Allen, who led Jeff Purvis to a lot of his success there in the mid-1990s, back on top of the pit box. We're seeing the effort. Big Finch having a good run tonight. Currently sitting back in the 4th position. Taylor Gray, Leland Honeyman sitting in 2nd and 3rd. Honeyman doing a very nice job in that number 02 Chevrolet for Young's Motorsports. Young's dipped their toes in the ARCA Menards Series platform last year with Tony Breidinger. Found young Leland Honeyman on the short tracks and decided they would team up together to make a run here at the ARCA Menards Series East Championship here in 2022. Leland had a great run in the season opener down at Five Flags Speedway, and now looking to do even better here this evening. Sammy Smith in that number 18 car, driving off into the distance. There's the advantage he has over Taylor Gray and Leland Honeyman at the battle for 2nd. We've already talked about it a couple of times tonight. Taylor picking up his first career ARCA Menards Series victory last Friday night out at Phoenix Raceway, and the emotions that surrounded all of that activity. Transport driver Steven Stotts losing his life in a traffic accident in Texas on his way out to Phoenix. Team owner David Gilliland asked the team, what do you want to do here, guys? What do you want to skip? Do you want to go? He put it in the team's hands, and the team's decided this is what Steven would want us to do. So they loaded up this very race car, the car that Taylor is in here tonight, put it in Haley Deegan's Camping World Truck Series hauler, got it out to Phoenix. Taylor kept it out of trouble, made a strong run there the last 30 or 40 laps, put it out front, parked it down in victory lane, his first career ARCA Menards Series victory. Looking to do the same thing here tonight. But right now, he's got to track down Sammy Smith. Sammy's got more than 1 second in hand as we are now inside 43 laps to go. That time around, 1.1 seconds, the advantage. Sammy Smith over Taylor Gray as they work their way down the backstretch. Sammy looking for his fifth career series victory. Picked up career win number 4 last time out. The season opener down at New Smyrna Speedway. Great way to kick off his title defense. A great way to kick off Kyle Busch Motorsports' tenure in the ARCA Menards Series platform. Of course, team owner Kyle Busch, a 3-time winner in the ARCA Menards Series, picked up a win. Of course, picked up a big win up at Daytona International Speedway before making the move into full-time NASCAR competition. Sammy Smith looking to follow in his footsteps. Driver out of Johnston, Iowa. Looking to make it back-to-back victories to start his 2022 title defense. .5 seconds the advantage now over Taylor Gray in second. Gray still holding serve on Leland Honeyman right there. They've got about 15 car lengths separating themselves. Stretched out about a second over Jake Finch. Big back and forth. Ashton Higgins, who had such a strong restart in the 49 car, he's dropped about a half lap back in the number 49 car. Sammy Smith continuing to rack up laps in the lead. Dominated the lap leader category here last year, looking to do the same this season. Sprecher Lap Leader Award. Sammy has already clinched that award here for the Pensacola 200 here tonight. Well, I should say he hasn't clinched it, but it's looking good. Looking good. As we have now 34 laps remaining. Look at the lap traffic Sammy Smith dealing with right now, as we've got some problems right in front of our leader. Second time tonight we've had a car sideways directly in front of the leader. Donald Teach getting turned sideways. Sammy Smith with some evasive moves. And that'll put us under the caution flag for the 6th time here tonight. Sammy Smith, I was just about to talk about the lap cars he was going to have to work his way through, and lo and behold, almost jumped up and bit him. Donald Teach having a tough night here tonight. 16 laps off the pace after picking up a top 5 finish in the season opener. And not the way you want to get yourself on television when you're 16 laps down, but let's see what happened over there in turn 3. As we see Christian Rose getting into it with Donald Teach, and that car right there, third in line. Sammy Smith, our leader, jumping on the binders big time. Nice move right there by Sammy Smith. That could be, folks, another one of our contenders for the Reese's Sweet Move of the Race here tonight. Something you never want to see as the leader. Lap cars getting tied up and tangling right in front of you. And that's happened to these guys twice tonight. One time when Taylor was leading the field, the second time when Sammy was leading the field. Don't forget, you can log on to the ARCA Menards Series Twitter page tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. Cast your vote for your favorite sweet move of the night. At ARCA_racing. Cast your vote for the Reese's Sweet Move of the Race. Oh, tough break for Ashton Higgins down onto pit road. That car obviously giving up something in the handling department. He went from battling for 3rd, 4th, and 5th to dropping nearly a half a lap behind. So that team making some pretty significant chassis adjustments here under this caution flag. Of course, can't change tires. The time you can change tires with an improved tire change is under those 2 race brakes. So that'll drop Ashton to the tail end of the lead lap. Still 8 cars on the lead lap, so that'll drop Ashton to the 8th position as we get the 1-to-go signal from Jimmy Walker on the flag stand. Sammy Smith, just like everybody has done all night long, he's going to choose the inside lane for the restart. Taylor Gray to the outside. Leland Honeyman, Jake Finch back in row 2. Brandon Varney and Daniel Escoto back in row 3. Ashton Higgins and Willie Mullins back in row 4. Somehow we've overlooked Brandon Varney in that mix. Brandon with a great run tonight in the 5th position. We get the green flag with 29 laps remaining. Taylor Gray with a great run to the outside of the racetrack. He's going to poke the nose out front down the backstretch. Let's see what happens. Do a little contact there into turns 3 and 4. Still side by side for the lead. Hit the stripe. Who is it going to be? Sammy Smith, just 29 thousandths of a second behind Taylor Gray. Gray with a great run on the top side of the racetrack. Can he make it stick? Smith working hard to the bottom side. Let's see who's it going to be this time. Again, Gray with the advantage at start finish. 26 thousandths of a second that time around. Now that bottom line, yeah, Sammy Smith going to use that advantageous bottom groove to hold on to the lead. But wow, what a run there on the top side by Taylor Gray. Threw everything he had at him, but the kitchen sink there on that restart. Taylor not giving up any ground. Still just a couple of car lengths back off of Sammy Smith. We've got 25 laps to go. The final 25 laps here at Five Flags Speedway. Does Taylor Gray have enough to get up there and retake the lead from Sammy Smith? Going to the caution flag one more time. Brandon Varney getting turned sideways over there in turn 4. See the hood flaps up on that number 44 car. Don't back it down into the wall there, Brandon. The DTS drivetrain specialist logo on the hood of that car. Longtime supporters of late model racing up in the Midwest. Claude Plant and his company, longtime supporters of short track racing up at Toledo and Flat Rock Speedways, ARCA's home tracks. This will give Taylor Gray another shot at the lead. He made a pretty solid run at it there, folks. Nipped Sammy Smith at the line by 26 thousandths of a second. 26 thousandths. Minuscule. Inches separating those two at start finish. I don't want to say that I jinxed Brandon on that deal, but I did give him the old announcer's curse right there as he restarted in the 5th position. Looks like he was able to maintain his position on the lead lap. Brandon Varney dropping from 5th back to 8th for this restart. Looks like he may have a little disagreement there with Daniel Escoto in the 60. Would not be the first car that Daniel has made contact with here tonight. There's a couple of battle scars on the nose of the number 60. Of course, Daniel making his series debut. Josh Williams, the team owner of that number 60 car. There's the damage to the nose. That, of course, came when he and Stephanie Moyer came together. That was right in front of the leaders. Sparks coming from the number 60 car here tonight as well. Been under caution. Daniel having a pretty good night otherwise. Still scored in the 5th position. Damage to the right side of the nose of Brandon Varney's number 44. Brandon driving for former driver turned crew chief Jeff McClure here tonight. Jeff stepping into team ownership last season, had some really solid runs with, in particular with Mason Mingus. Mason picking up a pole award up at Nashville Fairgrounds and picking up a couple of top 5 finishes. Brandon Varney having a great night here tonight, despite that spin over there in turn 4. That puts us under the 7th caution flag of the night. Jimmy Walker giving us the 1 to go. Sammy Smith, Taylor Gray up on the front row. Leland Honeyman, Jake Finch back in row 2. Daniel Escoto, Ashton Higgins back in row 3. Willie Mullins and Brandon Varney, your 8 lead lap cars. Big Willie having a quiet night in the number 11. If he can make some noise here, as we've got 18 laps to go. Coming to green. Let's see what Taylor Gray can do on this restart. He's going to get the jump down into turn 1. Still side by side off of 2. Taylor Gray with the run down the backstretch. Sammy Smith to the inside, Gray to the outside. Working their way off of turn 4. Again, at start finish, give the lead to Taylor Gray. Smith to the inside. He's going to push Taylor up the racetrack just a bit. Can Taylor get to the bottom side? No, he's going to fall back in line. Ooh, he's going to open up the door. Here comes Leland Honeyman to the inside. Now the battle for second. Caution flag out one more time. Ooh, some intense action right there on that restart. The 9th caution flag of the evening. And this one, it looks like it's going to be Ashton Higgins in the 49. And it looks like Ashton, that car may have lost power, stopped on the racetrack, and that put us under the caution flag. Quick drive through there down pit road. That caution flag, an excellent break for Taylor Gray. Taylor went from racing for the lead to fighting, holding on to second for dear life. Leland Honeyman was really starting to put some pressure on him there in that battle for second. Looks like Brandon Varney, who did fall off of the lead lap when he spun, will get the free pass to rejoin the lead lap. So this caution flag, pretty solid break for that young man as he looks to rally back up into the top 5 here tonight. Sammy Smith and Taylor Gray, just as they've been for much of the night. Your top 2, Leland Honeyman, Jake Finch, just as they've been for much of the night. 3rd and 4th, Daniel Escoto has worked his way up into the top 5. Willie Mullins now sitting in the 6th position. Brandon Varney will line up 7th for the restart. Lights off on the pace truck. Nope, lights still on the pace truck. A little over enthusiastic there on that call. Want to get this race back under green. Don't know what we're going to see on this restart, folks, but I will tell you what, Taylor Gray has done everything he possibly can from the top side of the racetrack to get into that lead. It'll be interesting to see what he does here on this restart. It looks like Taylor off the pace a little bit, and that's going to allow understanding brake troubles on the 17 car. Hearing there may be a penalty being issued for a restart violation the last time we went green. Maybe jumping the restart a little bit. We'll get some clarification from the ARCA officials. But in any case, Taylor Gray dropping from 2nd to 6th on this restart. Sammy Smith, Leland Honeyman, Jake Finch, Daniel Escoto, Willie Mullins, Taylor Gray, your top 6 coming back to green with 11 laps to go. Smith on the restart gets the jump on Leland Honeyman. Let's keep an eye on the 17 car. Time running out. 10 laps to go for Taylor Gray to work his way through a couple of cars to get back up to Sammy Smith. Gray now needing to work his way quickly past Daniel Escoto. Sammy Smith driving off into the distance. Gray now looking to the inside of Daniel Escoto. He will take over 3rd. 9 to go this time around. Sammy Smith driving away now from Leland Honeyman and Taylor Gray. Taylor now with 8 laps to go. There's our leader, Sammy Smith. There's the advantage he's got over second place, Leland Honeyman, and there's third place, Taylor Gray. Oh, an ill-timed penalty for Taylor Gray and the number 17 David Gilliland Racing Team. 7 to go this time around for Sammy Smith. Got 1.2 seconds in hand over Leland Honeyman. Honeyman about to feel some heat from Taylor Gray, but that was exactly what Sammy Smith needed here late in the race. Gray starting to reel in. Leland Honeyman now. Leland, our General Tire Pole Award winner, as we see Jake Finch off the pace. Finch with a flat right front tire. That will drop him out of the top 5. And a tough way to end the night for Jake Finch in the number 1. 5 to go, make it 4 to go this time around. There's Jake Finch, dead stick down on pit road, flat right front tire. Not going to be able to get that car to Johnny Allen and the crew. Tough way to end the night. Here's Taylor Gray. Can he take that second position away from Leland Honeyman? 3 to go this time around. Sammy Smith has 2 seconds in hand now over this battle for second. Could be some championship implications in this battle. Taylor, one of the favorites to battle for that championship. 2 to go. Leland Honeyman holding on to that second position. Taylor Gray doing everything he can to try to take it. Coming to the white flag this time around. Sammy Smith under the white flag. Leland Honeyman and Taylor Gray under the white flag as well. Sammy Smith down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. He will come off at turn 4 to look at the checkered flag. Sammy Smith picking up his second straight ARCA Menards Series East victory. Leland Honeyman holding on to take that second spot. Taylor Gray across the line in third. Second consecutive ARCA Menards Series East victory for the defending series champion, Sammy Smith, with a dominant performance, picking up his second straight win here at Five Flags Speedway. Impressive run tonight by Sammy Smith, and he had a little luck when it counted. That penalty to Taylor Gray on that restart with 11 laps to go was exactly what Sammy needed, and he raced unchallenged to his second consecutive victory in 2022 and his second consecutive victory here at Five Flags Speedway. There's our second place finisher, Leland Honeyman. Apparently getting turned sideways here on the cool down lap. Don't see that too often. We wait on victory lane ceremonies. Impressive run tonight by the driver of the number 02 car. Of course, Leland picking up that first career pole award. Ran up in the top 3 or 4 all night long, coming across the stripe in second. As we see Sammy Smith with the helmet off, he's about to climb out of that automobile and celebrate his second win of the 2022 season. And we will send it downstairs to Jesse Punch with our Victory Lane celebration.
All right, y'all need to clear out here. Clear out here.
There he is. Your winner,
Congratulations, Sammy Smith, second win of the season in the second race of the season at that. Really showing some speed there towards the end. At what point during tonight's race were you confident that you were going to be the winner?
You know, the whole time I felt good about it, but we kind of struggled there in qualifying with the Yates engine, but I knew in the race it'd come to life, and you know, it did. Just thanks to the whole team for making the car better all day. We struggled there in practice and really worked hard to get it good, and here we are.
Sammy, you mentioned to me before the race that you brought a notebook with you from last year's run, a lot of things that you wanted to improve on. How much of that notebook were you referencing in getting yourself here to Victory Lane tonight?
Yeah, you know, I feel like a lot. We kind of struggled early. I feel like I did a better job managing myself this year than I did last year, and I feel like just more seat time, more track time paid off.
Congratulations, Sammy. Enjoy the win.
Thank you. Just, you know, thanks to TMC, Brenda Group, you know, Toyota, KBM, all the guys for bringing me a good car.
Boy, as good as Sammy Smith has been, imagine how good he's going to be once that notebook is even thicker. An impressive performance tonight by our defending series champion and defending race winner here at Five Flags Speedway, Sammy Smith, with a dominant performance, picking up his second win of 2022. Still see the track crew over there attending to Leland Honeyman over in turn 4. Still don't know what happened on the cool down lap there. We hope to hear from our second place finisher here tonight. Great run for Leland and the Young's Motorsports team. Regardless of this current situation, a very impressive performance here tonight.
You think without the going to the tail end of the lead lap cars at the end, you would have been right up there with Sammy?
Hopefully we'll get that automobile down on the pit road. We could grab a quick word from him. Maybe get a little insight to what happened on that cool down lap, but I really want to hear about his night tonight. A great night tonight for Leland Honeyman after picking up his first career pole award. If we grab a quick word from our third place finisher, a dejected Taylor Gray. Go ahead, Jesse.
Obviously a strong run here tonight, but not the finish you were hoping for. How do you describe tonight's run?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were fast. Just, you know, just building and just got to get better. I feel like we got that one stolen away from us pretty bad, but can't say too much without getting in trouble. So, you know, just going to take it on the chin and move on to Dover and just try to have a strong run there. We really needed to get to second there to stay kind of close with them in the points, but we'll go to Dover. We'll be fast, and yeah.
You said you're frustrated. You can't say too much. Where generally is that frustration targeted?
Yeah, we kind of got we got that one stolen away from us on the call they made on the restart. So I don't know. We'll see.
Thanks, Taylor.
Got to appreciate Jesse sticking in there with that second question, trying to figure out exactly who Taylor is frustrated with. Understandably frustrated with a penalty with just 10 laps remaining. We'll get a little clarification and see exactly what that penalty was for. I believe it was for a restart violation on the previous restart, but we'll certainly get clarification from ARCA officials, and certainly encourage you to check arcaracing.com for updates to that situation. But a very dejected third place finisher tonight, and we mentioned it, he was wanting to stay tight in the points. With that man right there, Sammy Smith has jumped out to already a significant points lead going into round 3 at Dover, coming up here on April 29th. So, yeah, we will have to see. There's Leland Honeyman finally making it down onto pit road. See if we can slide Jesse in there and grab another quick word with tonight's pole winner and second place finisher, Leland Honeyman.
Leland Honeyman, the rookie, a second place finish here tonight at Five Flags Speedway. Leland, you start on the pole and you come out here and run second. What kind of a statement do you think you're making to the rest of the motorsports world here early in the season?
I mean, it was a great race. Good job to Sammy Smith on the win. Young's Motorsports came out here and gave me a good car today. And I think we did have a shot to win it there at the end. Just came up a little bit short, and those Young's Motorsports guys will get it done at Dover, and I know they will, and they work their tails off day in and night out. It's a lot to handle because of qualifying and whatnot, second career start and whatnot, so it's really cool. But thank you.
Well, hey, Leland, you talk about your team working hard. When I talked with your crew halfway through the race, they said they threw everything, including the kitchen sink, at this race car. Can you talk to me about what you were feeling and how those adjustments helped you?
Coming from New Smyrna, I think the car felt better. I mean, knowing that I got used to the car a little bit more, and you never can get too used to the car, and you can always learn more no matter what. And I think going into Dover will be really strong, knowing that it's going to be our third race in. So more seat time the better and stuff. So that's all we can hope for is going to Dover and winning.
Thanks, Leland.
Thank you.
Impressive performance tonight by that young man. What a great job he did to win that General Tire Pole Award in qualifying earlier tonight. Hung around the top 3 or 4 all night long. And when the last 50 laps came tonight, that car was on the march to the front, and he did a great job. Impressive run tonight by Leland Honeyman in the number 02. And while you have to feel for Taylor Gray, and getting that penalty, he did rally very impressively from 6th to 3rd, so it could have been worse. That does not take away at all one bit from the night that Sammy Smith had here tonight. An impressive performance again by our defending series champion, defending race winner, picking up second win of 2022. Some of the action tonight, Donald Teague almost getting it sideways. Check this one out, folks. Close call right there for Taylor Gray and Sammy Smith. And there's Sammy avoiding another disaster as Donald Teague got turned sideways right in front of him. And Sammy Smith driving it off into the distance, picking up the checkered flag for the second time in 2022. A great start to his title defense as he looks to go back-to-back as the ARCA Menards Series East champion. Appreciate you joining us here live on Flow. We look forward to talking to you next week as the ARCA Menards Series West goes to battle out at Irwindale Speedway.